How you doing, everybody? I am the Sussman, Rick Sussman, and you're watching The Read Pile. Today is April 16th, 2014, and here is some comic news that you can use. According to The Hollywood Reporter, WGN is in early talks with Vertigo, DC's awesome imprint, to bring Jason Aaron's Scalped to the small screen. We don't have much more news than that because that's what's being reported. Sticking with DC Comics, we have news! Grayson, the new book featuring Dick Grayson, will be debuting shortly following Forever Evil's wrap-up. Grayson will be less superhero, more super spy, so that's Batman's sidekick getting his own spy book. The correlation between Dick Grayson and Bucky Barnes continues. Which is a beautiful segue for the big news of the week, Marvel's continued dominance of the box office, as Captain America the Winter Soldier has officially made, let me just carry the four, $1 bajillion. But now on to the meat and potatoes of this year's program, The Read Pile. And on The Read Pile this week, I have 3 books I'm going to review for you. I have Scott Snyder's Batman Eternal Issue 1, Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man Issue 31, that just debuted today, and it was incredible. I'll get to that in a second. And finally, last week's Charles Soule Thunderbolts. This is issue 24. So, Soule, Snyder, Slott. What did I like most, what did I like least about each of these? I'm going to give you real quick bullet points so that I don't waste your time, and I give you honest reviews. We're going to start with what I think was probably the best book of the week, even though it's a bit unfair because it's a finale. That's Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man number 31. If you've been following the story of the Superior Spider-Man, Otto Octavius has taken over the body of Peter Parker, and this is the last issue of the book. It was really, really, really fantastic. Very heartfelt, great stuff. The whole story's been great. There's actually a backup story in there by Christos Cage that sort of continues the day after, much in the same way that they did Amazing Spider-Man 700. It's $5.99 for about 1 million pages, and it is absolutely worth it. I loved every page, every panel. Fantastic. Well done, gentlemen. Next up, as I mentioned, Charles Soule's Thunderbolts. Charles Soule is kind of the workhorse of comic books right now. Just to name the books that I can think of off the top of my head that he's on: Thunderbolts, Letter 44, Superman, Wonder Woman. I could go on. The guy just seems unrelenting. Another great issue of Thunderbolts. If you're not reading that story, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. You get Deadpool, Venom, Punisher, Elektra, Red Hulk, all as one team, and they don't interact very well together because it's a team of anti-heroes. Definitely check it out. To be very honest, my pass of the week is going to have to be Batman Eternal. It was a great story. I really liked it. Jason Fabok's art is phenomenal. The writing by Snyder and James Tyrion IV, both great. Here's the problem though. It's a weekly comic, and I'm not going to buy a weekly comic. I might read a weekly comic, but I'm going to do that when the trade comes out. DC, I love you. Clearly, I even busted out the formal wear for our primary episode here. It doesn't matter. You can't produce weekly comics when Marvel, indie books, all these other books are producing amazing stuff. It's just not beneficial to the reader. Well, that's our show for the week. Our co-host Buster needed to stop in and let everybody know that he approves of this week's episode. If you did, we hope you like, share, follow, all kinds of good stuff here on YouTube. Now, if you want to keep the party going, there is a number of ways to do that as well. You could check us out, our actual page, thereadpile.com. That's going to update with stories and events and more comic book reviews. We should have a few up later today, for instance. Also, you could find us on Facebook, facebook.com, The Read Pile. But let's be honest, Twitter is where it's at right now, and our Twitter page in less than a week has pretty much exploded, and we have some people we really need to thank for that. Gail Simone initially putting us over the moon with her retweeting of our awesome ball stamp. If you're in the know, then you know. We also need to thank Scotty Young, writer of Uber, Karen Gillan. We got a big shout out to Reasons I'm Broke podcast. Fred Van Lente, Christos Cage, all these people have gone out of their way to try and help us establish ourselves on Twitter. but no one needs more thanks than Agent Ward himself, Brett Dalton. He took our Snail Hydra photo, retweeted it to his thousands of followers, and from that point forward, our Twitter page has kind of exploded. So we thank you, Brett, and we salute you. Snail Hydra.